To New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. I'm in New Orleans. And I see the train right there. The train right there. Yes, indeed. I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. Yes, indeed. The 10 East New Orleans. I'm still looking at New Orleans sign though. I'm already in New Orleans now. I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana now. Yes, indeed. I'm in New Orleans now. Yeah. The made it to New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm close to the hood part of New Orleans now, the ghetto part of New Orleans now. Yes, indeed. I'm close to the ghetto part of New Orleans now. I'm closer to the ghetto of it now, though. Yes, indeed. I think I'm close to the ghetto part of New Orleans now. These boys dangerous down here in New Orleans. These boys something serious down here in New Orleans. These niggas something serious down here in New Orleans. Yes, indeed. I've been hearing about New Orleans, even though it's worse than Chicago is, though. New Orleans worse than Chicago is. Yeah, New Orleans. Yes, indeed, is the U.S. murder capital. That's what I had heard about New Orleans, U.S. murder capital. So I'm in New Orleans already. Yes, indeed, gonna see everything in New Orleans already. Yes, indeed, in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. In New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time.
You gotta wake up now.
Yeah.
So you can sightsee.
Yes, indeed. In New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, indeed. For the first time I'm in New Orleans. This is my first time coming to New Orleans. On this day, January the 6th, 2024, is my first time coming to New Orleans. I'm a remember this day. Coming to New Orleans and everything. I'm a remember this day. I sure am, though. Gonna remember this day right here, though. I'm gonna remember this day. My first time in New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, indeed. Yeah, they're going to slide there right there. 10 East going to slide there. Yeah. Yes, indeed. They're going to build buildings right there. Them tall, big buildings and stuff right there. Yeah. They're going to build and stuff right there. Yep. Yes, indeed. They go to 10 East. 10 East, that's going to go on the slide here. The 10 East going to slide there, though. They're my Uncle stay in Slidell, Louisiana. Yes, indeed. I'm down here in New Orleans for the first time. Wow. The Superdome. They were the Saints play. I know the Saints play somewhere down here. The New Orleans Saints. They ain't. Talking about the Caesar Superdome. The folk, yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans for the first time. Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans for the first time. Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans for the first time. Yeah, I see that Superdome right there where the Saints play at the Superdome. And I see it right there. Yeah. Yes, indeed. That's the where the New Orleans Pelicans play at right there. The whatever the name of the Smooth the King Arena. Where the New Orleans Pelicans play at. Yeah, them Pelicans, even though they doing good, but they ain't gonna make the playoffs. Probably gonna end up getting knocked out the playoffs. The New Orleans Pelicans, they ain't worth nothing. They ain't worth nothing. The Pelicans, they ain't gonna do nothing. Yes, indeed. In downtown New Orleans. Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. Down here in New Orleans for the first time. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans for the first time. Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans for the first time. The New Orleans, New Orleans, how dangerous New Orleans is. New Orleans dangerous like a third world country.
No, it's not.
Yes, indeed. I've been hearing about New Orleans a lot. New Orleans get compared to Memphis, Detroit, St. Louis, and all them cities. in Baltimore and all them towns when it come down to murders and all this stuff. Yes, indeed. But New Orleans is worse than Chicago is. I'm ready to go to Chicago. Yes, indeed. My first time down here in New Orleans. Yes, indeed. I'm down here in New Orleans for the first time. Down here in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. Yeah. Down here for the first time in New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, indeed.
You came the wrong way.
Yes, indeed. Like.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time.
Thought this girl going the wrong way. Sorry.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Down here in New Orleans. Yep. Because the New Orleans just surrounded by water. It's surrounded by water. For to come down here to New Orleans, it's surrounded by water. For anybody to come to New Orleans, they got to cross their bridge and everything to go to New Orleans. Because it might end up. Yes, indeed. For to go to New Orleans. I'm going all over New Orleans. I'm going all over New Orleans now.
Is this right now?
Yep. Yes, indeed. I'm in downtown New Orleans. Yes, indeed. In downtown New Orleans. Yes, indeed. I'm in downtown New Orleans. Yes, indeed. Just down here in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. In New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. My first time coming to New Orleans. My first time coming to New Orleans, Louisiana. In New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm finna get ready to end this video down here in New Orleans, Louisiana.